Today, this video is going to be all about cuticle care. I use a metal cuticle pusher, which has a smooth end on this side, a slightly rounded end on this side, and a pointed end on this side. And I'll also be using a buffer. This is a 1000 grit buffer, which I use for just finishing off. Now I've just removed my nail polish and I've scrubbed my nails with a nail brush. So a certain amount of water has been on the nails and has soaked naturally by just washing your hands and scrubbing your hands. Now other than that, I don't use any liquids for cuticle removal because you really need to keep natural nails as dry as you possibly can to prevent them from becoming brittle. So what I do is I take the smooth end of the cuticle pusher and I very gently push back the cuticle. And I'll do that on all of my nails, first of all. So just push back gently. So you've got a nice shape. Cuticles are quite sticky and firm, but if you gently push back, you will eventually push it back. It might feel a little bit tough initially, but the more you push it back gently, the more it will give. So just small steps, and even if it takes you a while, just keep going. That's about right. The first time you do this, it might have some cuticle that has grown onto the nail, so it might be a little bit difficult to do, but just persevere with it, very gently push it back, and if it's very stubborn, you could just dampen it very slightly with a little bit of water or some hand cream, and that might soften it a little bit. But if you do this regularly, you will create a nice cuticle line, and by regularly pushing it back gently, it won't grow onto the nail. You'll keep that nice shape. So now I'll take the pointy end and just very gently scrape the little bits of cuticle here. Just very gently scrape them off the nail. So now I'm going to take the smooth end once more and push the cuticles back smoothly again. Now I'm going to take the buffer and just buff off around the cuticle area, just to remove any of these little pieces of cuticle around the nail. And as I've got a silk wrap fix here, I'm just going to buff that off as well. So I've done that on both hands now. One thing to mention, don't ever cut your cuticles here or allow anyone else to cut them, because the reason for the cuticles is to prevent bacteria from getting down behind the nail. So if you cut the cuticles, first of all, it'll be quite sore around here for quite a while, and it could cause you to have a fungal nail infection. An infection underneath the nail here, which cause you all sorts of trouble. So it's much better to push back the cuticles gently and just buff off any little bits that you might find here. I'm now going to give my hands a little bit of a wash to get all the cuticle dust off here. So that's the cuticles done. Now the next stage for me is I'm going to repaint my nails. But if you're going to leave them unpolished, the next thing would be to apply some cuticle oil and or hand cream. Cuticle oil around the cuticles and around the whole nail, and rub it in really well. Or hand cream alternatively, and that can be rubbed in really well around the cuticle area. But because I'm going to polish my nails now, I want to keep them dry and oil free. So thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.